at you. This is episode 6, or should I say this is your boy, the Batman, the Black Batman. Now, real talk, serious business. What I want to talk about today, we're continuing our little Halloween segment, different masks, symbolic of Halloween. So for the whole month of October, we've been doing, some different masks here. What I want to talk about with the mask, though, is something that we often hear in our community, especially in the minority community, and that is that the black males are absent, So we're going to talk about that here for a second. I think that we have to be honest, and we have to answer a couple questions when we talk about that issue of black males being absent, not in their children's lives, not just their sons, but their daughters. And black females and minority females, therefore, are raising their kids in, single-family households. Why is that even a problem? If the female is there taking care of her children, isn't she just as capable of raising a young boy and providing guidance, to that child? I think that she is, and it's not to discredit the mother in the household, but a household should comprise of a mother and a father. And it doesn't mean that physically that mother and father have to reside in that household. But what it means is that the mother and father should play pivotal roles or important roles in the upbringing of their children, providing guidance to them, teaching them do's and don'ts, teaching them right from wrong. The male in the household, the black male especially, due to laws and so forth that, not to make excuses, but incarcerate many black males due to simple infractions. It is unfortunate that there are laws on the books in many states that subject black males to extended periods of incarceration due to having a simple or a small amount of crack cocaine or even powder cocaine, in class 2 type drugs, when there are individuals who have huge quantities of these drugs that they can receive less sentences, for having those drugs, and an individual is incarcerated for extended periods, for instance, 15, 20 years. During that time frame, their young son or young daughter has gone through their entire childhood and into high school, and oftentimes some of these kids do not see their parents, before they reach their adulthood. What I'm saying is simple. Yes, the male in the household, it is a necessity that the male plays a role in the household, that they provide guidance and leadership to their children. In our society, we see that because that absence of the father figure, the young males especially, they reach out and they look at other avenues, or pursue other avenues, should I say, to finding a father figure. It's a natural process. A young boy and a young girl, they're going to want to have that interaction with that father figure. Sometimes uncles play, roles in their lives, or provide that support when their actual father is not available. And we then see when kids aspire to be like athletes and rappers and so forth, and we say, that we don't want our kids to endorse or look at these individuals, and we hear the athletes say they're not role models, some of them anyway. The fact is, as a community, we all play a part in the upbringing of our young people. Children are very influential, and due to that fact, we should take pride in developing our communities, providing guidance. We cannot discount, and we can no longer accept that children are going to look at video games and television and so forth and mimic what they see because we don't want to invest time in our children. So there's actually two parts of the problem. One is due to a large number of our father figures being incarcerated. So we can't just rely on our kids being educated by the television or by the computer. We have to step up as a community, and if we see that there is a child, it's not for us to just walk up to that child and say, I see you don't have anyone to guide you, to be a role model for you. We should ask the parents, obviously, can we play a part in that child's life? Can we assist them? And that's if we're a teacher, we're a clerical figure within our churches and so forth, so on. There are official capacities in which we can step up, but unfortunately, because of issues involving sexual assault and things of that nature, where people don't want to get involved, they don't want to help, they don't want to be exposed to other people's kids because they think that if the child says something, they're going to find themselves in a unfortunate position. I would just like to see our communities take a proactive approach in providing better role modelship, making sure that our next generations, that our kids will grow up and they will have opportunities to be and do whatever they desire. If we continue to step aside, turn a blind eye, and we see single mothers that are not able to guide their kids, and we see the kids derailing, then if we don't do anything about that, we have no one other than ourselves to blame. I pray that we continue to fight and look for legislative reform where laws are changed and modified, where the real villains or the real individuals that are behind the drugs in our community, the guns in our community, the violence in our community, that these individuals are held accountable, and that the individual who's trying to make a quick buck selling a small amount of some illegal substance, that they are not put away for extreme periods where the crime and the punishment are not balanced. We see too often that the punishment is excessive for the crime in our minority communities. So as a Phantom, I challenge you, young black men, young black women, if you have your own children, then obviously I know that you're serious about your parenting responsibilities and that you're providing the support to your kids. But if your sister or cousin or whomever, brother, kids, if there's that void, contact someone that you know, that you deal with on a daily basis, that has some moral foundation, that has some understanding of those type responsibilities, and ask them to be a big brother or a big sister. It is too important. We can no longer just sit back and have this apathy as to how our kids are being raised. We complain about when we see kids doing things when we see it on the news, or things, the videos that you see on YouTube when people are posting some of the idiotic things that some of our youth are doing when they reach their teenage years. So if you have a problem with it, don't just sit back and expect the problem to fix itself. Become proactive, get involved, and do whatever you can. Just take a stance. The saying goes, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. This is what I see occurring with this issue. So from the 1960s even into the 1970s, after Dr. King's death, many students in colleges and so forth followed the teachings of Dr. King, and also the philosophies and views of Malcolm X, to guide them as they pursued their own goals and so forth. We can't wait for another Dr. King is the point. We can't wait for another Malcolm X. We have some great symbolic leaders in our society today, our president being one. There are a lot of non-minority leaders as well that have inspired some of our youth to stride and achieve great things. The fact is, we just have to step up to the bat. We have to elevate our understanding and our attitude as to what we want to do with our future as a people, as a community. If we do not get involved, if we sit back and continue to complain and say, that child looks like, no one's ever spent a second teaching them right from wrong. They're acting like a moron. Or that child acts like he's half raised. Or that child acts like, he lives in a barn. Just on and on and on criticizing. Or he's just a little thug. He's a moron. He's a hoodlum. We can't do that. Don't complain about the things that you see if you're not willing to be proactive, you're not willing to take a stance. I love kids. I have kids of my own, and I feel that it is mandatory that parents in our communities prioritize their time and make sure that they give their kids the best opportunity, that they can. So their time management and sitting down with that child and spending quality time with them is too important. This is your boy Phantom. As we always do, we want to keep it real. We want to keep it 100. And happy Halloween. Be safe. Get out there, get your trick or treat on. But make sure at the end of the evening you get back at the house and inspect that candy. Keep your kids safe. Don't let anything unfortunate happen on your watch as a parent, as a leader, as a role model. This is your boy Phantom. We out.